Sub 16 goal achieved. In this training block I've managed to achieve the goal I set out, which was to break 16 minutes in the 5k, most recently running 15:53. So can I find an extra 4 seconds on the final race of this training block in just a few days time? So welcome back to the finale of this Chasing 15 training series. This is the last video and this is the last workout I'm going to show you 6 days out from the goal race. After that we're going to dive into what I've got this summer, what's coming up, and then what my plan is at the end of the year to try and get myself in to London Marathon 2026. So let's get into the workout. I'll take you through that and then we'll get back here and chat all about the future plans. So here we go, one last roll of the dice. So let's go big, let's see if we can break 15:50. I'm starting to understand that a lot of good performances come from starting with a positive mental attitude up here. It's something that I've been really working on a lot. I've been saying that a lot lately and I'm just trying to drum it into my head that if you're not switched on here and ready for the challenge, then that's half the battle lost already before you've even got to the start line. Now, since the last training series video, I've had a good couple of weeks training and broken another barrier down with my 5k, so I've run 15:53 and yeah, there's just one more swing at it next week where I am going to try my best and go out with intent to run 15:49. That's the goal. Well, sub 15:50. I don't want to limit myself to a time. I want to be able to surprise myself if I can, and if not, then I know I've given it a good go. So today is pretty much the last workout where I'm going to get some good quality in. This is the last, let's call them supporting workouts. My Tuesday workouts are my short and fast race specific stuff, either faster than race pace or at race pace, and the Thursday workouts are geared around a little bit more of an aerobic style workout, slightly longer rep to start with, 3k around marathon effort, basically continued throughout the training, and then we roll into some faster stuff. And today I've got 2x1K, 2x800, 2x600, 2x400 and 2x200. And contrary to what Tuesday workouts might bring when I throw in K reps and stuff, no, these first 2k reps I'll be doing are not going to be at 5k goal pace, so they're going to be between tempo and 10k effort. We've got a wicked tailwind headwind situation going on once again on the industrial estate. You're going to see some faster splits going that way and some slower ones coming this way. And realistically I just want to try and cut the rep paces down, so I aim to do the 600s around 5k race effort, and then the 400 slightly quicker and the 200 slightly quicker, but by the time we get there the bulk of the work will have been done. So with less than 400 meters to go, I'm heading up to the top of this hill and then we'll start the first 3k controlled rep and we'll roll into this. Also, we've been blessed with some insane weather, like unbelievable. It's like summer. So paces over the last couple of weeks, although the training has been great, paces have not been on point, and I'm sure they won't be today. So let's just enjoy this one and get straight into it. You know it's a good day when you're running your LT1 or your first marathon effort, whatever you want to call it, 3k rep, and your heart rate isn't breaking 150. Happy with that. That is absolutely nuts. 6:03 per mile, excuse me, and came up the incline at the end here. 151 the heart rate got to. Now I don't tend to check my heart rate when I'm running, but I do like to just dip in and out of it and see what's going on, and that is by far, even on this warm morning, the lowest it's been. Very happy. Now let's get into the meat of the session. Okay, first 2k's done, 2x1K, sorry. 5:36 pace that way, 5:25 pace this way. As I said, big headwind, tailwind. Yeah, and I'm starting on the headwind every time. So it's making it challenging, but I know the score. Let's move on to the 800s. $5.25 that way, $5.19 this way, 1 minute jog into the 6s. So we go, 600s done. That was definitely 5k effort. 5:14 into the wind, 5:04 back this way, so slower and faster than goal pace, but yeah, wind assisted, wind against, I'll take it. 4s now. There we go, 5:02, 4:57, 2x200, and we are done. There we go, 4:37, and for the first time in this session, a slower second one, 4:45, but we did it. I came out here with a plan and we executed it. Very happy. I think the hardest thing when you coach yourself is discipline. It's very easy to get overexcited, but I've done that over the years so many times, and I've really tried this block to, when I've written my plan out, write meticulously the efforts that I want each rep to be, so that I don't just go out of the block and run first 2Ks at stupid pace and then try and hang on, because that's not the purpose. I'm trying to, and with my athletes as well, you write workouts that complement each other, and so that will have complemented Tuesday really nicely. The goal was hit 5k pace on the 600s and then a bit quicker on the 4s and 2s, and I did it, and that's exactly what happened, and I feel really good for it. It was a good session, and to be honest, a great last workout of this, well, technically 10.5 week block, because the race is next Wednesday, but it's going to be, after Saturday, a really good 10 weeks of training. There we go, another really good workout banked. The wind was a little bit frustrating, but overall that's pretty much what this training block has been like, just banking solid workouts week after week, stacking up 2 or 3 of them every single week, depending on if I do a long run workout or if it's just a steady long run. And other than that, I've banked 10 weeks of good training. I can now bring it to a close and then get on with training this summer. Speaking of which, what have I got coming up? Well, the honest answer is absolutely nothing. I have no races booked as of this point now. After this last 5k race, my summer is completely clear. Now my plans, that's a different story. So what I plan to do this summer is a summer of mileage. Going back to double threshold training, which is what I did last summer, I found it built a really good foundation for me to then launch into my Abingdon Marathon training last year, just building lots of strong, high, consistent mileage with some good threshold work thrown in there. That's going to be rinsing and repeating that strategy this year. It worked for me so well, and of course I've got no pressures of racing this summer, so I can just crack on with training. However, that doesn't mean I'm not going to race, because once I've got this race done, I'm going to take a couple of days off. I'll go out for a nice light jog on the Saturday and then do a low down week the week after, as I just kind of let my body rest and recover, mentally put a good stop to the end of this training block, and then get ready for that double threshold training throughout the summer. Now I will plan on jumping into some summer races. I've got a few lined up. I'm going to make a list of them and I'll see what works and what doesn't, so I'll get those booked in and announced to you guys as soon as I can. But other than that, what am I talking about London 2026, and how am I going to achieve that when the cut-off date is on September the 30th this year? So the plan is simple. I don't have a choice. I've got to go out there and run a good for age time before that cut-off date. Now, I'll be honest with you, I put a post out on Instagram, and I apologise to anyone I replied to because I completely got my facts wrong. I was looking at all of the classic October marathons like Chester, York, Abingdon, just to go there and run that sub 2:52, and I've done a small block. But of course, when people messaged me and said, Andy, the cut-off date is September the 30th, I went
went back to them and said, I think that's just for the championship stuff. I don't think it's for good for age, but I was wrong and you were right, which means I've effectively got Barnstable Marathon, Richmond Marathon, or potentially Dorney Lake and a couple of others that I can choose from that are coming up before that September deadline. Now, I've had great fun over the last 10 weeks with this shorter distance training. I don't really want to go into a big old marathon block towards the end of the year, and I certainly, once the marathon is done, want to go back into speed training or another base phase. Either one of the two I'm really keen to get on with. I've definitely learned this year and I've just got to accept it. I think I'm better at the shorter distances and I do quite enjoy it. I just prefer training for longer distances, but racing wise, I seem to be better at shorter distances. So the long and short of it is have a good summer of big mileage training, a small marathon block, and then get back to what I've been enjoying this year and save the bigger marathon work for next year. Later this year, I just need to tick a box. So I'm not going to be taking it too seriously. I just need to get into shape, to get round and get the time so that I've got bigger fish to fry next year. And of course, this year will give me a chance to practice fueling. Over the last 3 long runs, I've already been taking an excessive amount of gels and hydration on every single run, and that's all I want to keep doing through all summer, ready for this marathon later in the year, to really dial in that hydration and nutrition and hopefully get a half decent performance under my belt before rolling into it more seriously next year. So that's a wrap. I really appreciate your support on this training series. Thank you so much for tuning in to all of these Chasing 15 episodes, and fingers crossed I will go out there on Wednesday evening and just give it a good go. And whether I fall short or I do it, I don't care. I'm just going to go out there with intent. Racing tactics, I'm going to go out hard. I'm going to go out at PB pace and see if I can hang on. I guess time will tell and we'll see what happens. If you missed the last 5k race, guys, do check out this video up here. This is where I ran the 15:53. And if you're interested in seeing the previous video where I did one of my last workouts, check out this video down here and I'll see you guys over there.